In the opening scene, we are introduced to Mr. Miller, an extremely wealthy diamond merchant who lives with his wife, Mrs. Miller, and their teenage daughter, Lily, in a luxurious suburban villa. Recently, Mr. Miller has been busy with work and is rarely home. One evening, he manages to return on time. Mrs. Miller, excited, prepares a lavish dinner and dresses up, hoping for a pleasant family meal. Unexpectedly, Mr. Miller announces he has to leave for a business meeting and can't stay for dinner. Mrs. Miller, feeling dejected, listens as Mr. Miller explains perfunctorily that his hard work is all for their family, but his words do little to comfort her. She has heard similar excuses countless times before. As Mr. Miller prepares to leave, the intercom rings. A man claiming to be a police officer investigating a nearby home invasion asks to speak. Mr. Miller, noticing the badge on his uniform, opens the gate without suspicion and tells Mrs. Miller to fetch Lily from her room. Lily, going through her rebellious phase, had been arguing with her parents because they refused to let her attend a wild party hosted by a wealthy friend. Angry, she locked herself in her room. Mrs. Miller knocks repeatedly, but there's no response. Using a spare key, she enters and finds the room empty. Lily had sneaked out through the back door. Suddenly, Mr. Miller shouts from downstairs, urging his wife to run. The police officers are actually 3 men and a woman disguised in fake uniforms. The robbers quickly subdue Mr. and Mrs. Miller, destroy all communication devices, and drag the couple to the study. There, they pull a painting off the wall, revealing a hidden safe. They demand Mr. Miller disclose the code, claiming they know it holds valuable diamonds. The leader warns that if Mr. Miller doesn't cooperate, Mrs. Miller will pay the price. Mr. Miller, however, calmly explains that every diamond in circulation is certified by the Jewelry Association. Details like weight, shape, and ownership are engraved on each stone, making them easy to trace. He argues that stolen diamonds would lose value because no buyer would pay full price for illicit goods. Instead, Mr. Miller proposes a collaboration. They stage a robbery, file for insurance claims, and he removes the identifying marks from the diamonds to sell them anew. This way, no one gets hurt, and everyone profits. The leader hesitates but is interrupted by a younger member, who accuses Mr. Miller of stalling. The young robber claims to have seen Mr. Miller receive a package of diamonds and a large sum of cash recently. He suggests abandoning the diamonds and just taking the money instead. At this moment, Mrs. Miller recognizes the young robber's voice and physique. It's the same man who recently installed their security system. She remembers him as a charming and handsome technician. Realizing how the robbers know so much about their home, she keeps quiet, fearing they might kill her to silence any witnesses. The robbers continue pressuring Mr. Miller for the code, but he refuses, believing it's their only leverage to stay alive. Frustrated, the leader threatens to inject the couple with a sedative, claiming they just want money, not lives. They'd wake up safely once the robbery was over. Mr. Miller remains skeptical, refusing to cooperate unless they let his wife go. Tempers flare when a violent robber loses patience, holding a knife to Mrs. Miller's throat and threatening to kill her immediately. Panicking, Mr. Miller doesn't expect the young robber to intervene. The young man, infatuated with Mrs. Miller, can't bear to see her hurt. He draws a gun and points it at his companion, creating a tense standoff. To prevent internal conflict, the leader moves Mrs. Miller to the kitchen. The leader, who is the young robber's older brother, knows about his sibling's obsession with Mrs. Miller. Moreover, it seems Mrs. Miller and the younger brother share a secret, flirtatious relationship. Using this as leverage, the leader blackmails Mrs. Miller to convince her husband to hand over the code. She reluctantly agrees but secretly pockets a sedative syringe from the leader's pocket. As they return to the study, a voice suddenly echoes from the living room. It's Lily, calling for her mother. Mrs. Miller screams for her daughter to run, but it's too late. The robbers quickly capture her. Lily, an unstable, drug-addicted rich kid and host of the party she attended, had earlier tried to lure her into his drug stash. Unwilling to indulge, Lily left midway and sneaked back home through the back door, only to stumble into the ongoing robbery, becoming an additional hostage. The robbers reunite the family of 3 and begin playing on their emotions. The leader claims his sick, impoverished mother endured severe abuse and needs $180,000 for a kidney transplant, forcing him to rob the Millers. He threatens that if Mr. Miller doesn't give up the safe's code, he'll take one of Lily's kidneys. Upon hearing this, Mrs. Miller snaps. She grabs the leader's neck with one hand and brandishes the syringe with the other. The sedative, meant to knock out all 3 of them, could kill if injected into one person. She threatens the robbers to release Lily, or she'll kill their leader. Reluctantly, they comply but immediately threaten Mr. Miller. If he doesn't open the safe, they'll bring Lily back. Mrs. Miller, on the verge of breaking down, screams at her husband to comply. Finally, Mr. Miller gives in. To everyone's shock, the safe is empty. The robbers and Mrs. Miller are stunned. Mr. Miller admits he was fired and is now bankrupt. The villa is about to be repossessed. The diamonds and cash they'd seen earlier weren't his. He'd been surviving on small commissions as a broker. The robbers don't believe him and demand he reveal any hidden money, then drag Lily back. Lily can't escape, the villa is too isolated. The young robber remembers Mr. Miller's prized silver suitcase, but inside are only diamond certifications, no cash. Frustrated, the leader beats Mr. Miller and renews his threat to remove Lily's kidney. Mr. Miller, desperate, offers his own instead, pleading for his daughter's safety. The leader, in a rage, pins Mr. Miller down, drawing a knife as if to perform the surgery. But seeing no resistance, he hesitates. The truth surfaces: the leader's mother died years ago from alcohol abuse. His earlier story was a lie to manipulate sympathy. From Mr. Miller's perspective, he's either truly broke or values money over his life. When Mr. Miller still refuses to yield, the robbers search the house again. They spot a photo of Mrs. Miller wearing an expensive diamond necklace. They tie up Mr. Miller and Lily, forcing Mrs. Miller to lead them to it. Meanwhile, Mr. Miller and Lily try burning through their restraints with a lighter. The robbers find the necklace but realize nothing else is valuable. Removing their masks, they prepare to kill the family. Mrs. Miller seizes a chance to whisper to the young robber, if he saves Lily, she'll let him do whatever he wants. Infatuated, he convinces his brother, the leader, to spare her. The leader orders the female robber to take Lily to the bedroom. He decides to kill Mr. Miller in front of Mrs. Miller to break her spirit, ensuring she'll obey his brother. Unexpectedly, Mr. Miller confesses, the necklace is fake, the real one was sold to pay debts. The leader tests it, the necklace shatters, proving it's a cheap imitation. Enraged, the leader's resolve crumbles. He reveals that he and the female robber are drug dealers. Days earlier, masked thieves stole $180,000 of their supply. Their mafia boss demands repayment, or they'll die. The violent robber is the boss's enforcer, sent to monitor them. The leader insists he must get money from Mr. Miller, or they'll all die together. Mr. Miller still denies having funds. Then, the female robber finds a photo in his suitcase. The young robber kissing Mrs. Miller. It seems Mr. Miller knew about the affair, perhaps why he's so resigned, having lost all hope. At this standoff, the mafia boss calls again, demanding payment. The leader vents his fury on Mr. Miller. Mrs. Miller rushes to shield her husband, only to be knocked down. The young robber, furious at seeing his goddess hurt, attacks his brother, their tension reaching its peak. Just then, the doorbell rings. A security guard has arrived to verify the alarm, which the robbers deactivated earlier. Company protocol requires the owner's signature, or they'll call the police. Thinking quickly, the leader of the gang pretends to be Mr. Miller to sign off, but the young robber, who has mental issues, follows him outside and immediately shoots the security guard. He then uses the guard's walkie-talkie to call the security company, falsely claiming that the signature was obtained and everything is fine. The robber leader realizes that his brother is becoming uncontrollable and decides it's best to kill Mr. Miller and leave. However, before he can act, Lily suddenly offers to help the robbers get money in exchange for sparing her father. She reveals that at the party earlier, she discovered a wealthy drug user has over $200,000 in his home safe. The desperate leader decides to act immediately. He orders the female robber to go with Lily to the rich man's house, while the young robber stays behind, trying to persuade Mrs. Miller to join him after everything is over. He promises to treat her and Lily well. While driving, Lily subtly releases the female robber's seatbelt and purposely crashes the car into a utility pole, killing the robber instantly. Despite minor injuries, Lily seizes the robber's gun. Back at the house, the previously unconscious violent robber wakes up and sees the young robber trying to take Mrs. Miller. He rushes to stop him, but the young robber, despite his mental issues, is overpowered and quickly gets strangled. The leader, witnessing this, shoots the violent robber in the neck, killing him. Before dying, the violent robber reveals a shocking secret. The masked robbers who stole the $180,000 worth of goods were actually the mafia boss himself, and the young robber had been the mastermind behind the entire plan. His goal was to force his brother into a corner, making him rob Mr. Miller's house so he could win over the woman he loved, Mrs. Miller. With his plan exposed, the young robber tries to explain, but Mr. and Mrs. Miller seize the opportunity to escape, hiding in a storeroom under construction. Mr. Miller, injured, urges his wife to escape and call the police. However, just as Mrs. Miller is about to leave, the robber leader stops her. The young robber intervenes, leading to a struggle between the brothers. In the chaos, they knock over a panel, revealing a hidden pile of cash, Mr. Miller's secret stash. Upon seeing the money, the leader decides to kill Mr. Miller and take it. Just then, Lily arrives. Realizing the female robber is dead, the leader shifts his target to Lily. However, the young robber, in a moment of clarity, shoots his brother to save Lily, killing him. Lily is stunned, but the young robber seizes her gun and takes control. He tries once more to convince Mrs. Miller to leave with him, claiming Mr. Miller hid the money because he knew about their affair and was planning to divorce her. Mrs. Miller, now realizing the truth, learns that her husband kept the money to provide for his family after selling the necklace. The real truth comes out: the young robber had used his job to steal surveillance footage of Mrs. Miller, manipulating Mr. Miller into believing she was unfaithful. Despite this, Mr. Miller silently bore the pain and never confronted her. Hearing everything, Mr. Miller decides to burn the money to secure his family's escape. He lights the cash with a nearby lighter, and flames quickly spread. The young robber tries to salvage some money, but Mr. Miller pins his foot to the ground with a nail gun. Enraged, the young robber raises his gun to kill Mr. Miller, but Mrs. Miller steps in front of her husband. Desperate, the young robber lowers his gun and attempts to embrace Mrs. Miller one last time, but Mr. Miller picks up the gun and shoots him dead. With the young robber gone, Mr. and Mrs. Miller help each other escape the fire. Their family, after enduring so much, embraces tightly. The money is reduced to ashes, but it no longer matters to them. Thank you for watching. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe for more recaps. Until next time, have a nice day.